What was like the biggest experience that kind of pivoted your life?
That's a great question. There's been so many. I think in terms of, I guess, do you mean in business or do you mean?
Just in general, because I feel like, your personal and your business life kind of goes hand in hand, to where like if something's affecting you personally, it will also affect your business in a way.
The funny thing is, throughout my career, and I've been in commercial real estate for a little bit, I haven't really shared a lot of my personal life. Because most of our clients are very mature, and so forth. And so it's really all about numbers and so forth. And not that you don't become friends with certain people, but I think for me, kind of looking at, I went to Africa. And so this was a big, I got a scholarship to research real estate in West Africa.
That's
And
so
so, shout out to Dr. Jallo from UTA. And so we went to a slave fort where they would take rebellious slaves in one area and say, hey, it was called the door of no return. So they take you to the door and put you in the room, and that's it. So you spend the rest of your life in there. There's no water, there's no food.
Wow.
They just leave you. And so I thought about how many people, went through that. And then, after that we did that particular tour, I sat by the ocean because, it's, right there in West Africa, in Ghana. So I sat by the ocean and I looked at the tide. It was going in and it was coming out. And so when you look at the history of the world, there's been countless atrocities that have taken place. Slavery, Holocaust, there's been wars, there's been murders, all this stuff. And the tide goes in and out.
stays the same regardless.
The world continues to spin. And so I was ambitious, but I think that did something to me from a standpoint like, okay, I don't, let me go make the absolute best of my life, because the tide is going to go in and go out. So regardless of what you experience, you got to be able to toughen up and keep it moving, right? So
That's powerful.